Man, they really did it. Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder, Tyson Fury, they just switched out one judge and the referee. We're going to talk about all that and more in this video. What up, Fight World? It's your boy, Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button, also subscribe to my channel. Listen, I don't know how you found the video. Somehow, some way, you found this video. Help others find the video by simply clicking the like button. When you guys hit the like button, it goes a long way and it identifies the video as content that others could be looking for. Appreciate you. Let's get it. So the latest news is Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury 3. Much anticipated fight. They have now switched out one of the three judges as well as the referee. So let's talk about it. So initially they were going to use Mike Ortega as the referee for this fight. Now been changed to Russell Moore. Just to give you guys an idea, Russell Moore, I don't know. Some people have issue with Russell Moore as a judge or as a referee. Let's look at some of his recent fights. So you see he's now got the Fury versus Wilder assignment, part 3. This is a big fight. So you got to look at every minute, even no matter how small it feels, you got to pay attention because the first fight went to the cards and it ended in a draw, right? Second fight was a stoppage, but Wilder says he didn't want his team to stop it, right? So it was a stoppage. Wilder has crucifying power. Fury is more of a boxer. So, you know, depending on who you are, this fight can end a multitude of ways, depending on what you believe. I believe what I believe. So Russell Moore is the new judge. I don't know exactly why they switched it. Usually that's an objection from one of the sides. This, again, is a high stakes fight. So maybe they thought Ortega was too inexperienced at this level or for heavyweights. So they got Russell Moore. Let me know in the comment section if you've seen Russell Moore fights and what you think about him being appointed the new referee. They did also switch out one of the judges. NSAC did this. So it's a bit weird because they had this list of, it was just announced not that long ago who was going to be the particular judges and the ref for this fight. And then, you know, once it was announced, they shortly made a late switch. So that feels a little weird. But recently, Russell Moore has refereed Pacquiao Ugas. I'm trying to think if there's any like moments in that fight that he needed to really ref, because I don't really remember his involvement in that fight. Let's look for some of the bigger fights. Neo Anui, nah. Jorge Linares and Devin Haney, he reffed that fight. That was earlier in May. Miguel Berchelt, Oscar Valdez, earlier this year. Brutal KO, but you know that KO now drawn into question. He did a Jared Big Baby Anderson. So he has some Robeisy Ramirez, so some top ranked fights. Manny Pacquiao versus Ugas was PBC. Okay, he did Lomachenko versus Teofimo. So that's a big fight. Gabe Flores, Pedraza. I don't know. It looks like he's worked more top ranked fights in recent memory. Emmanuel Navarrete, Oscar Valdez. So I don't know for a fact, but it looks like Top Rank might have been the one, Tyson Fury's side, that might have adjudged to Mike Ortega being the referee. He did Canelo Kovalev, so, you know, he's been in some big fights. Bartholomew Rance's brother. Ugas versus Figueroa, that's a PBC fight. Rigondeaux Seja, I was at that fight. Michaela Mayer. So those are his most recent fights. Let me know in the comment section what you think about this. Me personally, I'm not too vested into the referee, as long as this is the biggest thing. The referee has to be fair if there's illegal, like dirty tactics, because Fury uses his forearms and pushes and rabbit punches and some tactics like that. So I feel that Russell Moore is going to have to be on the job when it comes to stuff like that, if that is in fact evident in this particular fight, because, you know, Fury, he's going to try, in my opinion, I think he's going to try anything he can to stay away from that Wilder power, including roughhouse tactics that are dirty, right? So outside of that, as far as the judges, I'm not really worried about that because I think Wilder's going to knock out Tyson Fury. So whoever they have as the judges, I don't think it'll really come into play. But the referee is more, I guess that's what I meant to say, is I'm more concerned with the refereeing job than the judging job. Because again, the referee can change how the action is playing out, and that's not a good thing. So hopefully it's not a ref that's too involved and things like that. For example, a fight that easily comes to mind for me would be Anthony Joshua versus Joseph Parker. That fight was on UK grounds. It was a hometown fight for Anthony Joshua, and Anthony Joshua he's basically being favorited. Joseph Parker was doing some good work on the inside, but he was never really allowed to work. And he had smaller and smaller moments because they had an inexperienced ref from Italy, I believe. And that particular ref wasn't allowing Joseph Parker to get any inside working. And that was wrong. Joshua's not a good, as you guys can see, he's not a good inside fighter. He can't fight on the inside. Andy Ruiz showed that. Usyk showed that recently. And Joseph Parker started to show that. But the referee job was so bad that he really couldn't get off. You know, and I'm not saying he absolutely would have won, but it would have been nice to see fair judging or fair refereeing, you know what I mean, in the Joshua fight. So we'll see. You know, I don't know. Wilder obviously has had to go back to some of the basics, switched up certain things with his team. So at the end of the day, I think Wilder's team is probably preparing for everything. You know, you have Deontay Wilder, who fought the man twice. And you have Malik Scott, his new trainer, who actually sparred with Tyson Fury in the past. So that's a good amount of intel on the same fighter to kind of know his behaviors and how he fights and things like that. So, you know, we'll see how the fight plays out. We'll definitely see how it plays out. Weird that they switched the judge late terms. If I get more information, I think it has to be probably one of the team's objective. But if I get more information, then I'll update and do an update video if it's worth it, like something crazy. They did the grand arrivals yesterday. Wilder, he was more calm. Tyson Fury was really acting like Tyson Fury, joking about cheating, things like that. To be honest, I'll be really glad when this fight is over. You know, as a real true boxing fan, I feel Tyson Fury brings in a level of toxicity with fans, and it's just a lot of irrational talk. I'll be happy when this fight is just completed so we can move on to Canelo versus Caleb Plant, Figueroa and Fulton, fights like that. You know what I mean? Because it's like the Wilder fan base and the Tyson Fury base, it's like two rabid fan bases, people just saying crazy stuff. A lot of people that don't know what they're talking about are chiming in just because it's a big fight. So that's a good thing for as far as like live gate and numbers. It's a big fight, and you could tell because you have a lot of casuals who are rarely here for boxing that have decided to weigh in on the action and what's going on and who did what and the who's who and all that type of thing. One thing I will say about the whole situation with the referee is based on how Wilder Fury 1 and 2 played out, I really don't even know who could possibly do, you know, any more damage than the first two fights. So what I mean is this. For example, in the first fight with Wilder and Fury, Wilder literally knocked Tyson Fury out cold. Tyson Fury admits this. I have it on tape. He even said it at the grand arrivals. So Tyson Fury was knocked out cold in the rematch. Sleep, snoring. And for some odd reason, Jack Reese decided to even count. Like, you have to put yourself in the mindset of referee. Okay, yeah, I understand giving fighters the benefit of the doubt is 12th round in certain circumstances. But if somebody is asleep snoring, when do you ever even see the referee, once they acknowledge that the person is knocked unconscious, when do you even see them count? Why would you even administer a count when somebody's unconscious? That's like you have to pay some bills and you're talking to your spouse about, important bills or transferring money over, and your spouse is sleeping. It doesn't make sense. Somebody is in a slumber. They're incapacitated. They're not awake. So we all know Jack Reese, he fudged that one up. Somehow, some way, Tyson Fury with the longer count, he got up, and the rest is history. But we all know, under normal circumstances, 9 times out of 10, a referee would have seen that and they would have called a halt to the bout. And Wilder would have been 1-1, because Fury beat him in the rematch. And in the second fight, it appears something was wrong with Tyson Fury's gloves, like they had been packed or tampered with, whatever. And Kenny Bayless didn't even notice this, and his glove looks like it's malformed or whatever. And there was a moment where the ref's supposed to check your gloves. There was a moment where Kenny Bayless walks up to Tyson Fury, and Tyson Fury goes like this and like almost hides his gloves and pushes it into his stomach, and then the bout continues. So it's like, what is this move? So there's a lot of pressure on Russell Moore to really do what's right and make the right calls in such a meaningful fight. Let me know what you guys think. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Also, if you want to order the fight Wilder Fury, you could use my link in the description. There's a link tree, or it's a separate link to order the pay-per-view Wilder versus Fury Part 3. Appreciate y'all for the support, and I'm out.